Welcome everyone as we learn the Mishna Yomis for this beautiful Tuesday evening back in Elm Shade Estates in South Fallsburg. I feel like I'm on a little bit of a jet lag. We are learning, sponsored by the Fisher family, Lili Nishmas Basi Bas Robert, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Peril Bas Ruvain, Neshama should have an Aliyah. We also learned Lili Nishmas David ben Chaim, Refu Shalema for Eliyahu Moshe ben Chai Sari, Yaakov ben Basi Aleah, Schus of Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yudis and family, by Yol Klugman and family. We learned Refu Shalema for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka, Hinda bas Chai Sari, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel, Yitzhak ben Sia Medusha, Chana bas Shoshabina, Rivka bas Shira Leah, and Meir ben Chai Sarah. They should have a refuah shalema b'seich shar chayil Yisrael. The Mishnah tells us if Hayra Bezdin, if Bezdin makes an erroneous psak, they say a certain chaylev or blood is mutter when it's really aser, but v'yoda echad mehem shito, but one of them knows that it's an error, and therefore it's not a unanimous decision of the court, but he's overruled. And he tells them, you're in error. Or the distinguished head of the court, the of Bezdin, was not with them when they made the decision. They had a quorum, but the head of the Bezdin was not with them. Or it wasn't a valid court. One of them was a convert, a mamzer, or a mamzer, like from adultery, or nasan, or a ger gevaini, or zaken shaloira loivanim, or an old man that never had children. All of these are disqualified, so it wasn't a kosher court. So then, hari elu peturin. So then, the court is exempt from bringing a parhelim davar shel tzibur. If the head of the court wasn't there, they considered negligent for rendering a decision without him. If one argued, so it wasn't a decision of the entire court, and if one is not fit to be a judge, then it wasn't a proper court. So in all of these cases, they would not bring a parhelim davar shel tzibur. Shenemar kan eda, it says over here, an assemblage, and by a capital decision it says Ada. Ma Ada Amura Lahalan by a capital case. They all have to be fit to paskin. They can't be, one of them can be a mamzer, a ger, a nasan, or a zakin that never had a children. Af Ada Amura kan they have to be fit for psak. Horu Bezdin Shogigin, if Bezdin renders an erroneous decision, v'asu kol hakol shogigen, and the people followed their decision and ate the chaylev, so that's the classic case, or a majority of the congregation, that's the classic case that meviim par. Mezidin, however, if the court, although it's very unlikely, but if the court didn't make a mistake, but they made a decision willfully, a wrong decision willfully, even though v'asu shaygigen, even though the people followed them in error, since the court didn't make a mistake, the court doesn't bring a parhelim davar shel tzibur, rather each individual brings a private carbon chatas, mevi'in kizba or se'ira, they either bring a female sheep or a female goat, the halacha of a regular chatas. Shoygigin v'asu mezidin, if the court made a mistake, but the congregation knew it was a mistake, and they did it deliberately, harielu peturin, the people don't bring any offering. They don't bring an offering because they didn't do it unwittingly. They did it b'mezid, and you don't bring a carbon when you do it willfully, and nor does the court bring a parhelim davar shel tzibur because the people didn't do it by by mistake, they did it willfully. Now, Hoyru Bezdin, if Bezdin said this chaylev is mutter, or this dam is mutter, v'asu kol hakol, and people relying on the psak of this erroneous psak of Bezdin, the majority of the people did it, or Ruban al Pien, the whole congregation or the majority relied on them. So that's a case where Mevian Par, where the Bezdin brings a Par Helam Davar Shel Tzibur. Now that's true if it's any Issachars like Nida, Chaylev, Dam, entering in the Mikdash while Tameh, etc. Avodah Zarah, but if it was an erroneous decision about Avodah Zarah, then Bezdin brings two karbanos. Mevi and Pa, they bring a bull as an ayla and a soir as a chatas. Divrei Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says that if all of Klal Yisrael sinned in error, each shevet brings a par. Shnayim aser shvatim mevian, shnayim aser paran. The 12 tribes each bring a par helam davar shel tzibur. And Avodah Zarah, if it's idolatry, each tribe mevian shnayim aser parim, they bring 12 bulls as an ayla, or shnayim aser seirim. Reb Shimon says it's 13. Because each of the 12 tribes bring, and the court also brings. So Reb Shimon I'm a shloisha asa parim, 13 bulls, or Avodah Zarah shloisha asa parim, 13 bulls, or shloisha asa sirim, 13 bulls as an ayla, and 13 goats as a chatas. Par v'sar l'chol shevet for shevet, a bull and a goat for each tribe, and par v'sar lebezdin, and a bull and a goat for the bezdin. Now, Haru Bezdin, look at this long Mishnah. This is really, really a long Mishnah. And with this Mishnah, by the way, we're already going to finish the first parak of Horayos. And remember, when we finish Horayos, we will be finishing the entire Seder Nezikin. It's really, really an accomplishment. Now, Horu Bezdin, if Bezdin makes an erroneous decision, v'asu shiva shvatim, and 7 of the tribes do the crime. Now, 7 of the tribes is the majority of the tribes. Ayruban al piem, or the majority of the tribes. Meviim par, they bring a bull. Avodah Zarah meviim par v'sar, they bring a bull and a he-goat. According to Reb Meir, in such a case, here Reb Meir holds that the court brings a bull, and by Avodah Zarah the court brings a bull and a he-goat. Reb Yehuda says Shiva Shvatim Shechatu Meviim Shiva Parim. The 7 tribes that sinned bring 7 bulls, and Ushar Shvatim Shaloichatu Mevian Al Yedeim Par, and the other tribes that didn't sin also each bring a bull, even though now the Rabbi Yehuda learns this from a pasuk, that even though the other 5 tribes did not sin, still the other tribes also bring a par. Sha'af elu shaloichatu mevian al yedei achaitim. They bring because of those that sinned. Now that's Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Reb Shimon says that if the 7 tribes sins, there's a total of 8. And that means that each tribe that sins brings a par, and Bezdin brings a par. But the tribes that didn't sin don't bring. Reb Shimon Ayim Shmeina Parim, 8 bulls, Avodah Zarah Shmeina Parim or Shmeina Seirim. 8 bulls and 8 goats. Par v'sar l'kol shevet v'shevet. In the case of Avodah Zarah, a bull and a goat, a bull of an oila, and a goat as a chattis for each of the 7 tribes, and par v'sar l'bezdin. Now, each court has their own supreme court. Although there's the Bezdin Agadol in Yerushalayim, in the Lishkas Agazas, but each Shevet also has its own supreme court. So let's say Shevet done. Its supreme court paskins for its Shevet that this Chaylev is mutter. Hayru Bezdin shel echad min hashvatim, v'asa oisei ha-Shevet al piyam, and that Shevet followed them, so that's not the majority of the Shvatim, nor the majority of Klal Yisrael. Oisa Shevet Chayiv, that Shevet brings a parhel and davar shel tzibur, or shar kol hashvatim mutarin divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Chachamim say, no, there's no such thing. The only time there's a parhel and davar shel tzibur is only if the decision is rendered by the Sanhedrin Agadol. The Chachamim Aimrim ein chayavin ela hal Horayos Bezdin Agadol bilvad, only for the decision of the Bezdin Agadol in Yerushalayim, shenema vim kol adas Yisrael yishku. If the representative of all of Klal Yisrael, that's the Bezdin Agadol, makes an error, v'loy adas oiseh ha-shevet, but not the court of a private shevet, and therefore in the case if it was a decision rendered, even though it was wrong, by the court of a shevet, there would not be no parhel and davar shel tzibur. Wow, this is new stuff to most people, which means that we are growing. We want to thank you for joining us and wish you a wonderful evening.